Jackson isn't available at this.
All right. Hello, everyone. Whoever happens to be moseying in, I am going to be playing a bit of Dr. Mario at the moment. Surprise, surprise. And then mayhaps, depending on who is, mayhaps I play other games as well. We shall see. So I'm going to put myself in silent and see what happens. So I apologize if the color looks off on your screen. On my screen it's on cool tones right now because typically, or on warmer tones right now, because if I stare at the screen for too long, then my eyesight does tire out quite a bit. But unfortunately, normally when I'm streaming, if I stream it in the evening, then I would reset the lighting so that way it would be more cooler tones, the blue light that is frequently on. However, for some reason, the switch for that is not working, and since I'm already live as it is currently, I said, well, I'll just live with it and pray for the best, as it were. So on my screen, it does look like it is warmer tones than normal. I apologize if that is a frustration for anyone. Hopefully in the morning this would be rectified. And I do intend to stream sometime during the day tomorrow, although I have not decided how or when, since technically I am supposed to be working tomorrow. I may just have the stream open and the chat open, so that way people can still chat to me while I'm working from home. But I do intend to get some work done, as I do have work that needs to be done. So, anyone who has popped in, my name is Leon Bochu. I am fairly new here on Twitch, and I'm just here to play some games and make some friends. So let's see what happens, if that at all happens. Typically when playing games, I do enjoy chatting with people as I see the chats come up. If that does not happen, I understand. People have lives, etc., etc. I am willing to fill the silence if needed, but typically I work best when I am talking to someone who is chatting. So if I am too quiet and you wish to have a conversation, please chat in the chat window and I will converse. I will even pause the game to converse with you if needed. But with Dr. Mario, I should be able to multitask. I don't know if fluent is the right word, but I am well versed with Dr. Mario to the point that chatting does not distract me, as some people may believe. The colors, if anything, is more distracting than the game itself. Okay, I am going to test this as I have finally turned down the sound through my desktop speakers, and I am curious to see if anyone in my chat is able to hear the desktop speakers or dual audio, not just the OBS but also through the desktop. So if anyone is having problems, please let me know and I will rectify accordingly. Hello, if there's anyone out there in the Twitch viewing world, my name is Leon Baju, and I am just currently playing Dr. Mario just to pass the time. If you wish to chat, just please text into the chat and I will respond accordingly. Yes, I am new to Twitch and I'm here to just make friends, really. I do enjoy meeting new people. I do enjoy learning about other people in other walks of life. And I figured, and I would start playing games. And after a while, I said, why don't I just stream this and see what happens? And so that is what I'm doing. I am streaming and seeing what happens. Today is the first day in a few streams that I am actually listening to the audio output. So if you're hearing dual audio of the game music, please let me know, and I will see if I can update that accordingly. Thank you. So my goal with Dr. Mario, it's been a while since I've played, but my goal is to get myself back, to be familiar again with Dr. Mario, wherein I am playing level 24 at high speed on a regular basis. So that is not an easy feat, and like I said, this has been a while, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. Let's see what happens. Not at the moment. How are you doing? That's good. Are you still setting up for your first stream? Nice. Alright, let's try again. How was your day today? And how did that go? Which kind of doctor's visit, may I ask? Okay, that meh was warranted then. One of my chatters yesterday mentioned that someone had actually beaten Tetris, which I thought was impossible. I thought Tetris was everlasting, but apparently there is a way to beat it. So I'm really curious about it. I don't think I'll ever be able to beat Tetris, but there you go. Oops. No, they actually played the game. How goes the house cleaning? Ah, so you're still cleaning right now. Very nice. I was in the office today, so I was not able to stream during the day. I'm considering having the stream open and running while I am working from home to just have it as chat since I don't intend to play games, and see how that goes. We shall see. I may do it for like an hour or so and decide, nope, not working out. But we'll see. Oops. That's alright. I'm low enough on the pill bottle that I'm able to fix that without any problem. It's just annoying. Ah! And that's annoying as well. Oops. No! This way. There we go. Oh, damn it. You know, you can just have this stream open while you're cleaning. Listen to the restful Dr. Mario music in the background. That makes sense as well. Jam away. Reflect Games. What is the stream coming off in the correct colors? Because I have my monitors on warmer tone mode because it is late in the evening. But for some reason, when I tried to change them back to cooler tones, it didn't change back, and I wasn't sure if that's what you're getting on your end. Okay. Then I will not worry about the stream then. It's just me who will have the alt colors. Okay. That's good. I figured chances are it's normal for the stream, but it's definitely odd on my monitors, and I'm just too lazy to try to fix that at the moment. Bye! Have fun cleaning. Hopefully we'll talk soon. Hello! How was your day? Oops. As you can see from Dr. Mario, I am not doing as well as I would like. I am passable. That is probably why I do not do emojis at the moment. Anything interesting today? Or just whatever is construed as a normal day for you? You know what other French anti-hero is disfigured? The Hunchback of Notre Dame, as well as the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. So I would say the Phantom is in good company, no? Reflect Games earlier also has some cleaning to do, so they jumped on, they took a break, jumped on, said hi, and then vamoosed to continue their cleaning. I'm actually looking forward to their first stream, Reflect Games, because they're actually doing a campaign on stream. So true, Phantom of the Opera has that going against him. I'm surprised more MAGA people do not see the similarities. Oh, no worries. No worries. You're not to be beholden to stay on chat the whole time. Heaven knows I'm concentrating very hard and trying to complete this with medium level on a consistent basis. Keyword trying. I would be doing some research and some writing, but my computer screen for some reason is playing very difficult games today. Because I typically have it on automatic nightlight, but if I know I'm going to be streaming, then I turn off the nightlight. But for some reason, when I try to turn it off this time, it refuses to turn off. So I am looking at warm color tones on my screen right now. the colors for Dr. Mario here are very off for me. I mean, I can still play, obviously, but still off. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, I actually have to concentrate on this one, huh? They're going a little faster than I would like. Just a little. Ooh, I might actually get myself out of this. Let's see. Alright. Not bad. There we go. Oh my goodness. Alright. That's a bit. Let's move on to the next level. See where I go and watch me screw this up again. And that is okay. Hello, anyone who happens to be lurking out there. My name is Leon Bachu. I'm fairly new to Twitch, and really I am here to get to meet some new friends. So feel free to pop into the chat. I will chat if I see anyone texting. Otherwise, I tend to be a little quieter while I'm playing games, but that does not mean I am unable to speak to anyone while playing games. Quite the opposite. I don't know. If you have questions to ask me about myself, my life, etc., feel free to ask away. I do play a variety of games. Right now I am playing Dr. Mario, so I'm obviously old school gamer here. I do play Tetris on occasion, but right now I have this desire to be able to get to Backtoon by typical form, where I am playing Dr. Mario at level 24 speed, level 24 consistently on high speed. So I was able to do that very early on, but it's been a while since I have played any Dr. Mario seriously, so I'm seeing if I can get back to that again. So Other games I have played this weekend is Lego Fortnite. I do enjoy Lego, so Lego Fortnite is right up my alley. I actually started a new world in anticipation of being able to play Lego Fortnite with a friend of mine who has not played Lego Fortnite yet. So we'll see when that happens. In time, depending on the number of people who are in my chat or followers are around at the same time, I may be willing to play some community games like the Jackbox games, but that's something way down the road. My avatar, VTuber avatar, you see in the lower left hand corner is Cat. The reason why I chose to be more of a VTuber versus flesh tuber, as I guess some people like to call it, is because I do enjoy creating a character as one of my hobbies outside of everyday life is that I actually help run a theater company and I do write as well. So the idea of having having a character was more, how do you say, attractive to me than being on camera in person, which I know can be considered very hypocritical considering I am in theater. But keep in mind, I am actually more of a stage manager in theater versus an actor nowadays. Oh, no worries. You're one of the first in my stream, and we have very good conversations, so it just made sense to follow you back however way I can. It just seemed appropriate. Yay, you survived your flight. Are you home now, Starkey? Very nice. I'm glad you're home in one piece. So tell me, how was your trip? I mean, I saw you sent some photos, but how was your trip overall? As I almost screwed that up. Two weeks? You know, I have taken month-long vacations or trips, but they're usually because I'm going over to overseas country and I'm visiting family. When I went to Europe last fall of last year, that was a 3 week trip, I believe. Aww. How many pups do you have now? Because I don't recall you having any. 2. I think you had mentioned to me that you had pups, but I've never met them. You've had pups after my time in in your neck of the woods. Oops. Of course I would screw that up. Let's just do this the easy way then, rather than trying to be fancy. Level 24. Let's see how fast I screw this up. Oh, jeez. Quicker than I thought. Alright, I'm done. Okay. Oh, Starkey, do you remember Ace? I did not know land sickness was a thing. So Ace has actually mentioned to me that his family may consider moving up to my neck of the woods. But first they're going to see how Houston works out for them. And I said, oh, seriously? With the way things are going, you really should just move up here instead. It's a lot safer for your family. Joko's only a 1 week trip though. So how would you have it bad for Joko? I do miss the Joko cruise. I do plan to come back onto the Joko cruise at some point in time. It's just a matter of when. Oh, don't pressure me. You know I would do it. I'm the one who introduced you to the Joko cruise in the first place. Don't give me that. Is that how you remembered it? That's not how I remembered it. Mhulik, you should look up the Joko cruise. It is a very nerdy cruise, and it is a lot of fun to be a part of. Joko Cruise actually rents out an entire cruise boat for all of their attendees, and not only do they have their own list of activities and events, but the attendees also create a kind of shadow activity list to hang out and meet up together. So it's essentially a convention in a boat, on a cruise, in a cruise boat. So I think you and your partner will really enjoy it. um, I think I've only cruised once every 3-4 years. Well, I had a friend who enjoyed cruising and he wanted a cruise partner. So he and I were doing a 1 week Caribbean cruise as a test cruise, and we realized we enjoyed each other's company. So we were planning to do more cruises together, but then he passed away the year before COVID in 2019. I do have another friend who also enjoys cruising, and she was going on a Australian New Zealand type cruise, and I joined her, and that was a lot of fun. And that occurred in 2016, and it was also that was we returned on election night in 2016, and I almost bought a one-way ticket back to New Zealand. That same friend, I went to Australia. So the Australia New Zealand cruise was how do you say? That was 3 weeks long, I believe. So, and that same friend and I, we actually did a cruise in the Mediterranean this past year for almost 3 weeks. So, originally we had planned on doing a South American cruise in March of 2020, but unfortunately, the planet had other plans, as it were. No! 2016 was the election. 2020 was the pandemic, and then 2023 nothing happened last year. How could you imply that something happened last year, huh? Oh, I actually found someone on Etsy. So I commissioned this VTuber, or this avatar via someone on Etsy. I actually had it made last year, with the intention of starting streaming last year, and I just couldn't get into it for some reason. So here we are. watch me screw this up. Okay, I'm just... Yeah? I rather like being a cat rather than a anime girl. I mean, everybody's doing anime girl, and if you know me, I'm not going to go and follow the crowd. So a cat it is. No, the cat is actually pretty tame. Yeah. See? Just a little chibi cat. Chibi cat. Goes down here back in the corner. Yep. I rather like it. It's called practice, Starkey. Practice makes perfect, no? Ooh, ooh, ooh. You missed it earlier today. I was yesterday someone mentioned, was it you, Emholic? That there was someone who actually quote unquote beat Tetris. You know what? Okay. Let's do this. Is Tetris available now? Have they made Tetris available? No, they don't have Tetris on here. Oh, that's sad. Wildwoods was another game I used to play quite a bit. Kirby Adventures. I was never an adventure type gamer. Dig Dug was another game I used to play. Yeah, no Tetris. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, back to Dr. Mario. Damn it. Let's go back to medium. What am I doing? Okay, I can breathe. What the heck am I doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, I did. That's why I paused. There was a game I played on the Switch as well. I have to renew my Nintendo system online, whatever that subscription is. But it allowed me to play something I had not played in the past called Pokemon Puzzle League. So that was an interesting game to play. It takes, because the puzzle that I enjoy playing took the concept of similar to Dr. Mario and Tetris and made it 3D around a cylinder, and that drove me crazy. Oh, what are your Braille games for the NES, Super NES? So do you have a working SNES at home then? Nice. you looking for like mint condition games or second hand, or what are your conditions? So you want it playable, essentially. What do you mean a little displayable? Explain to me something that's playable and displayable. Oh, displayable. Something that you can show off. Like put it in a display case, right? Okay. Do you want it in box, or is no box okay? Okay. Those sound very reasonable expectations. I approve. Not that you needed my approval in the first place, but still. gonna give you enough validation as it is. I have reasons for that, Starkey, that I will mention offline. But you are not the first, nor will you be the last to inquire about that. But I will say, Lian Bachu is, although it is a recently created pseudonym, it is, the more I think about it, the more I listen to it, the more it feels like evolved version of me, if that makes sense. No, but that's a very good assumption. I had to actually wait until a viewer disappeared. I'm hoping that is a. Okay, good. So there's. Anyway, no, it has nothing to do with he who shall not be named, as it were. Though, oh, absolutely. Well, you know, my usual name, I had created that back when I was a preteen, and it's still very much a part of me. But I wanted to have a name that was a little more, a little less feminine, I guess you can say. Something that was in honor of the strength of people who were marginalized in the past, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, it's not. It is very much a part of me as my typical pseudonym is. And granted, everything online is still connected to my original pseudonym, so I'm never straying from that. But this one for streaming, I do see myself moving forward with this one more likely. But we'll see what happens. It's still very early in the game. Game. You know what's really funny, Stock? Maybe. But I don't think I've told you how this was, where this came from. This particular name. So this one will be some. This is all new to you, Stocky. You know what I find really fascinating ever since I started streaming is that I actually get very excited to stream again after when I was done working with my day job. Is that I couldn't wait to get home to just to turn on streaming just to see who is out there, and hopefully they would feel like they're not alone. You know, the optimistic, idealistic side of me would say. Me text messages. Give me 1 second. Well, apparently the friend that I was hoping we play Lego Fortnite with at some point in time has decided to go and start cooking dinner for himself and his father, so how dare he? Oh, I'm still looking forward to it. I figured that they were busy, so I wasn't going to press anything. I mean, honestly, if my monitor wasn't all whacked up with the warmer tones, I would actually be doing more reading and brainstorming for some writing projects. But because everything's in warm tones right now, I'm just kind of like, I'll wait. Actually, Stocky, quick question. Does your partner have any feminine typed clothing that they are in large, extra large, they are willing to part with? Okay. Let me know if that is something, because I do have a friend up here who is transitioning, and so I've been sorting through a fair number of my own clothing and letting them try it on. So I rather than them buying all new clothing, it just felt better and more cost effective if they were wearing clothes that for me, I just don't see myself wearing again, or someone else, and that kind of thing. Perhaps. What size is your partner in mass clothing? Oh, I've been doing this for years, and like I had a friend who transitioned very early on, and my how do you call it? My weakness when I go shopping in other countries is jewelry, but my problem is that as much as I love jewelry, the jewelry I do wear, I wear every day. Has the same set over and over again. So I very rarely change it. So I finally told myself, well, if I'm not going to be wearing this regularly, I might as well see if there's someone who wants to wear it, that's more likely to wear it than I am. So one of my friends was just starting that transition with hormones, and I just rang them up and said, hey, do you want any shawls or jewelry or even perfume? And I am more than willing for you to try them out and see if there's anything you like. So this is normal, I should say, for me, as strange as that may sound. I'm sure. I think for me, it's not right to say that I'm colorblind or gender blind. I don't know why, but I guess I look at it as them finding themselves, and there's a lot of things that have occurred after conversations. There are a lot of things that have occurred in their lives that they realize they were never comfortable with when the skin that they are, but they didn't know I had the vocabulary, as it were, for it. Oh, no kidding. I think that's another reason why I wanted to stream, is hopefully to reach out to various marginalized parties who know or feel like that there's a community that they can be a part of, and there's too many streamers out there who are catering, or they just tend to be more mask, as it were, or try to stay in the middle, and so the chatters tend to be a bit mixed. And for me, it just feels off in its own way, because you're just trying to cater to a larger audience, perhaps for financial reasons, and I understand that. But for me, I'd rather it be as open or as comfortable as possible for any and all, for those walks of life who feel like they don't have any other place to go. And there's a lot of that in today's society, unfortunately, where people just don't feel like they have any place to go. I am losing this game. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to having that kind of affirmation or knowledge or understanding that maybe the skin you were born in is not the skin you're meant to be in, I kind of look at it as they are probably some otherworldly person or being who was trying on something and like, oops, it doesn't fit. Let's try this on instead, not realizing that they are different. And that may be an old way of looking at it, but oh, absolutely. But it's and they don't realize it. So, eh. Meanwhile, I feel like the token minority in the communities I'm in out here. Hmm. Understood. Well, if you're willing, or you hear people who are complaining about not finding Twitch streamers who have open communities or are willing to talk openly about these types of things, tell them, hey, there's no such thing as a taboo subject on my stream. I don't see the point of it. Now, I can see people arguing, by all means, but I don't understand why things are so uppity with most people. Because it's a normal frame of mind. Even in my everyday life, for example, I will joke when I have to use the restroom and I'm on my menstrual cycle. Unfortunately, I would say, hey, I have to go change my diaper. And they would look at me like, what are you talking about? I might be. Oh, we can talk about cannibalism. I have a little too much knowledge on that subject area, that's for sure. So it's the joys of being a writer. You start researching about anything and everything, and you wish you didn't. Well, what else would you call it? Oh, the toxic masculinity is so crazy, even amongst males who claim to be open, that if they say it's that tampon, you can tell they're uncomfortable. And besides, it's just more fun to call it a diaper. I mean, think about it. For us women, we have it terrible. I mean, think about it. For females, or AFABs, however you want to call it, we start in this world wearing diapers. And then we have a period of time where we become potty trained, and ergo we no longer need to wear a diaper. But then when puberty hits, we have to wear diapers all over again. And then there might be a little bit of time during menopause where we may not have to wear a diaper. But because we're getting older, and oh, I don't know, sometimes your bowel movements aren't quite what they are used to be, then suddenly you have to wear an adult diaper again. So for females in general, we are essentially wearing a diaper for a fair chunk of our lives. Why is that taboo? I'm sure if AMAVs assigned male at birth had something spitting out of their various orifices down there, then they would also be wearing some kind of diaper in their adult life, and there would be no questions about it. But for women, it's like, ooh, oh no, gross. And it's like, what? How old are you again? Even adult men are very much, I mean, there's still women who consider it very, taboo to talk about your menstrual cycle when, what, 50% of the population go through it? Please. And I apologize for the male viewers. This is the kind of chat you're going to get from me. Oh, if only I had that kind of power, I would abuse it so much. It would be so funny. That's the ticket. I mean, I'm sure there's a fair number of AFABs out there that, if given the chance, they may actually want to have a hysterectomy just so we can avoid having menstrual cycles. Because they're not fun. And heck, I may even go so far as to say it's if there is a way where I may even go so far to say that if we have the option to have if there's a way to extract the uterus and how even the vagina along with it and implant it into a man who is desperate to have children or would love to have a family of their own or whatever, then by all means, here's your equipment. I don't want it. Let them have fun with it. If they want it so badly. or if there's a way that you can extract your uterus and then have it on ice for X amount of time until such a time when you're like, okay, now I'm ready to have children. So you would have your uterus and you can have it reinstalled into your body, and then you can go ahead and have children all you want. I don't see any problems with that. Okay, that might be taking it too far, but still. You know what's another design flaw in this body of ours is the fact that you have the recreational area sitting next to the dump, as it were. Just think about it. If you want to talk about body design flaws. Seriously. I have to find the meme from years ago about people arguing what kind of engineer or type of person would have designed the human body because of all the flaws included. Fair. Oh, speaking of which, there is a how do you call it? There was an article I read, but I'm trying to see if there's any other supporting research about it. That in a few evolution cycles, the masculine half of the species will become extinct. Oh, does that mean you'd be willing to try pegging? Oh, there was a comedian who was talking about his first experiences with begging. Oh my god, it was hilarious to watch. I shouldn't say experience, his introduction. forgot which animal or insect, but there is when it comes to reproduction. There you go. When it comes to reproducing, essentially the male side, in order for its sperm to connect with the female eggs, the male side would have ends up enveloping himself or getting enveloped by the female, where the male side will no longer exist. And then that's how the sperm gets integrated to the eggs. Can you imagine if that happened with humans? No. Well, it depends on how angry I am at the male. But I wouldn't want to reproduce with someone who's how do you call it? Whose DNA is undesirable. Starkey, shut up. I told you, I write. There's a lot of knowledge in my head. I kind of wish isn't there. I mean, the argument is that would actually make more sense for the male side of the human species, because when you take a look at the much older tribes and societies, societies actually live and die by the female side than the male side, because without women, there's no way to reproduce. And by that logic, that means that men in the end are essentially disposable, except for the need of the sperm. Something to think about. Oh, M. Hulik, I hope you're not regretting being a part of this stream community. Well, I don't know if society hasn't discarded the idea, because in general, as obvious from recent events, men think so highly of themselves that they don't realize how disposable they really are. Absolutely. And I think that kind of knowledge or that kind of thinking is probably going to get me in trouble with a lot of the more toxic masculine viewers or patrons in Twitch in general, or at least a lot of those communities. But welcome to the mindset of a strong, independent woman. Okay, no, not all women think the way I do. Not at all. I fully acknowledge that. But that's the thing, is that you'll never know. There's no such thing of quote unquote who has it worse until you've lived in the other shoes, no? You can't argue who has it worse unless you've lived both sides. And really, who are the people who has lived both sides, if you think about it? So until you have lived both male and female lives, in my point of view, you cannot argue, complain, decide, quote unquote, who has it worse, because you don't know the other side. It's the whole concept of walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Fair. I do not disagree with that. But I still stand by the concept that everybody has issues and problems and privileges and not. But to me, you still need to find a way or to understand that your point of view isn't the only point of view. And there isn't any singular point of view that is right or wrong or all encompassing. Absolutely. But as it stands, all we can do or hope for is to be intolerant towards intolerance, as well. So here's a question for you is what would it take for people to learn empathy? And understand that is a necessity in life, and understanding society and other people and etc etc etc, because far too often people in general tend to resort to violence to make their point known, but violence isn't going to solve anything. So what do you do? Maybe you should find one of those Bluetooth keyboards that you can just connect via Bluetooth to your phone, and then you can just type that way. Sorry, my stream is not for the escapism. My stream is to have philosophical discussions about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yes. How do we teach people to have empathy? Because clearly that's not, there isn't enough of that in the world. Definitely not enough of that in our country. In the US, I should say. And keep in mind, this is me asking empathy, rather than in Asian cultures, there is a sense of community, um, family that is much more centric in society there. So, but the sense of community and the sense of family, family center, family circles has been built into that culture over the span of life of centuries and centuries and millennia, while as Western cultures tend to be more individual, every man for themselves, so to speak. So how do you then add in the idea or the aspect of empathy, learning to walk in other people's shoes, learning to understand or listen to what other people are going through, etc.? see that. I can see that. But then, how does one then utilize, or how do you call it? Okay, so if the understanding or the belief is that everybody is born with some aspect of empathy, and yes, it may be because of environment. So are you suggesting that in order for people to have more empathy towards a wider spread of people or persons, they have to be exposed to such parties? Hmm. Hmm. So, how does one unlearn empathy then? Is it similar to how one falls out of love with someone that they may have loved at some point in time? But aren't there people out there who may have gone through the ringer in life, but they're still extremely empathetic? Hmm. I could see that. So let's say you unlearn empathy or unlearn, as you say, not being racist at a young age. How does one relearn? Or is it once it's gone forever? But some people do not have the privilege or luxury of being able to move out. What then? This is true. And if you've never read the original source material, I do recommend reading it if you have the mind of it, or the audiobook. It is actually a very good read. Now, I even went so far as to read the sequel, not by Victor Hugo, but by another party, and that was actually also pretty good as well, but it doesn't quite meet up to the expectations of the original. So let's say someone who is exceedingly shy and has trouble meeting new people in general. What about that? How do they put themselves in a situation that they do that? No, okay. No. If you really look at fictional novels in that time period, all in that time period, everybody was meandering to the point or the reason of the story and etc. They all enjoy meandering. That is fair. That is very fair. Someone's hungry. You know, I do not believe I've ever had shawarma before. I travel, just not necessarily when it comes to I haven't been everywhere. I've only been to like 3 continents, and that's piss poor in my book. And even then, they were all cruises, so you only get like a little taste of everything. Oops. Mm. You know, wasn't it the English who who desired the spices of the East and Middle East so much because their food was all bland? I am going to. Okay, I'm done. I'm just done. This is true. They learned absolutely nothing. You know, you weren't really ranting. I was asking questions and you were answering them. That's not ranting. And the reason why I was asking those questions is because I feel like for myself, I've grown up with a lot of empathy and wanting to help and so forth, and understanding that people are terrified or scared and etc. of whatever is going on with them. And I can never understand why others don't feel at all similar or don't seem to care. And so the idea or or the understanding of thinking for the self or thinking of the individual feels very selfish and self-centered to me, and that's not my normal state of being. And I understand that's not my normal state of being, but I guess you can say I was privileged in a way of being able to see and understand and willing to listen to other people's situations and know that everyone is different. And I haven't quite learned or understood how others are not that. It just seems asinine to me. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I would ask my friends IRL about certain things, and really my thought process is like, but why? Why couldn't they? Because to me it just feels normal. And I think what makes that all more interesting for me is that I am brought up in a much more, in a, how do you call it, conservative household. And yes, conservatives has this whole thing of Christian values and etc., and so on and so forth. But let's be honest, they don't follow Christian values as they ought to be followed. And yes, I'm brought up Roman Catholic, but you can see that not everyone follows what is taught through parables or stories in the Bible. And if you look at the Bible as a how do you call a book of parables, legends, and mythology, and so on and so forth, that still is there to teach you how to live with the best way of life, and so on and so forth, people are not following it. Supply side Jesus. Hmm. True enough. You know what's really interesting? I remember mentioning to someone that America, in comparison to the rest of the world and some of the other civilizations, America is actually quite young as a country, as a land mass, and etc. And to me, America has not exactly developed a true culture yet. Yes, there are aspects, and yes, there are things that are truly American, like hip hop. Hip hop is definitely a very American thing, and country music. However, as I see current events as they are, I start to wonder if maybe true American values or culture is racism. And I really hope that isn't the case. I could see that too. Done. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Jumped on, did a few hours, and that's good. Brain is definitely tired because I'm making mistakes I really wouldn't be making. And we had a very wonderful philosophical discussion, and I'm really interested. It's really fascinating. Oh, yes. I remember a few years ago, I was actually researching, or I fell into a rabbit hole about empires and civilizations, and there's a particular pattern that emerges when you see the rise and fall of empires. And although the U.S. is not necessarily considered an empire by everyday folk, it is very much a type of empire. And when you take a look at the steps of the rise and fall of empires, the U.S. can arguably be considered at the back end of that step process. So probably like the beginning of the fall, so to speak. I have to take a look at the what I was reading and I forgot, but I don't know. Something to think about. And I've my one of my favorite channels to watch on YouTube is the Infographic Show, and the Infographic Show was going through a summary of what caused the fall of the Roman Empire, or the fall of the Persian Empire, or fall of the Egyptian Empire, and so on and so forth. So it's interesting when you see a pattern begin to emerge. So no, but I think I'm going to wrap it up. As always, wonderful conversation. Love diving into something more philosophical. That's always been my cup of tea, as it were, once we get past all the small talk, which I'm not always a fan of. You have fun with your shawarma, Starkey, and you have fun cleaning, Amhuluk, and hopefully I will see both of you in a future stream. So I'll see what I do tomorrow. Like I said, I might just have the stream open and there's just a chat window open, and I'll just have it there while I'm working, which is entirely possible. So that way I am alert during the daytime, and maybe people will pop in. You're welcome to pop in, say hi, pop out, doesn't matter. And we'll go from there. So again, great pleasure, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye. No, I think I'm not going to do raid targets. Well, how do we... Let me see if I can figure out how to do a raid target. How... Whoops. To raid another Twitch streamer. Ah, is that all? Okay. Is Hoey Joe live now? Do you know? Ah, they are live. All right. Oh, Hoey Joey Joe's raid settings do not allow me to raid at this time. Too bad, so sad. Perhaps another time. Although, lovely stream. And no problems with indulging, M. Holik. I always enjoy a good conversation. So, perhaps another time, another place, another day. Talk to you two later. Bye.